Over the next few minutes, you're going to see why Mark Andrews is on the verge of doing something almost nobody thought was possible when he first came into the league. Every game, he pushes a different limit. And now he's so close to carving his name into NFL history that it feels like everything is happening fast. It's the kind of moment that makes your heartbeat pick up because you can feel something big coming. And what makes all of this even more impressive is that this story isn't just about numbers. It's about chemistry, resilience, and those plays that make you jump out of your seat without even realizing it. Andrews is one step away from breaking records that once looked untouchable, and the way this is all unfolding makes everything even more intense. There are details people don't talk about, context that completely changes how you see this moment, and angles that make this whole story even more special. Mark Andrews is extremely close to something huge in Ravens history. He needs almost nothing to become the franchise's all-time leader in receiving yards, a mark that felt out of reach for years. It's wild to think that he arrived as a third-round pick, without the fanfare of a future superstar, and now he's inches away from passing Derrick Mason, who sat at the top for so long. The road to this point was built on consistency. Andrews became that guy who always shows up when the offense needs a spark. Even through injuries, uncertainty, and rumors about his future, he held his level. Nothing about him feels forced. He just goes out there, handles his job with calm focus, and a standard very few can match year after year. Closing in on this record shows how deeply he's become part of Baltimore's offensive identity. He's not just a reliable target. He's a steady presence that keeps everything balanced. When a play gets tight, he's there. When the offense needs rhythm, he's there. Every catch carries a piece of the story he's been building without shortcuts. And this all makes sense when you look at how Andrews has evolved over the years. He grew, matured, and cemented himself as an essential piece, always adjusting to what the team needed. It's one of those careers where the journey speaks louder than any statistic. And that journey is exactly what brought him to this historic moment. The connection between Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson is one of those things that can redefine an entire offense. Since they first took the field together, they've created a rhythm of their own, almost like they're speaking the same language out there. When Jackson spots Andrews open, you can feel the trust. He doesn't hesitate. That confidence became one of the pillars of Baltimore's offense. And the numbers prove it. Nearly 5,000 yards and more than 50 touchdowns together. That doesn't just happen. That's repetition, chemistry, and knowing how the other thinks. Jackson knows exactly where Andrews likes to catch the ball, and Andrews understands when Jackson is about to extend the play with his legs. It's a rare connection. And the coolest part is how that chemistry came back stronger after Jackson's quad injury. Andrews started showing up again in the key moments, reminding everyone how well they complement each other. When Jackson gets back into rhythm, Andrews immediately becomes one of the most dangerous targets in the league. And that changes how every defense approaches Baltimore. That's why Andrews keeps stacking numbers like this. When the partnership is flowing, the offense breathes differently. Plays open up, reads become faster, and the confidence grows with every drive. It's a combination that makes the game feel simple and keeps Andrews constantly in position to shine. Mark Andrews has something special when he goes up against the Browns. It's almost like every matchup is a chance for him to show everything he can do. The numbers tell the story. Tons of yards, touchdowns, and a level of dominance that shows up every time he faces that defense. It's the kind of history that gives a player even more confidence. That consistent success shows how well Andrews understands the soft spots in Cleveland's defense. He knows where to sit, how to win separation, and always seems one step ahead. Even when the Browns roll out tough defensive looks, Andrews finds a way to make plays. And the timing of the season fits perfectly with that history. With Jackson healthy and getting back into rhythm, Andrews has even more freedom to work the middle of the field. That's where he thrives, taking advantage of coverage mistakes that show up when defenses have too many threats to worry about at once. All of that creates the perfect scenario for him to keep putting up strong performances. When Andrews steps onto the field with confidence, a favorable matchup, and an offense operating smoothly, his impact gets even bigger. It's the kind of situation where everything seems to fall into place.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important, because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Mark Andrews' journey is one of those that shows how unpredictable football can be. He arrived quietly as a third-round pick, without the heavy expectations that follow future stars. Over time, he earned space, earned trust, and showed it far more to offer than anyone imagined on draft day. His growth is obvious. Andrews became the guy who shows up in the defining moments, the anchor that keeps the offense steady. He blends technique, quick processing, and a unique feel for finding space. Nothing about him is flashy. Everything is precise and consistent. His impact goes way beyond the box score. Andrews changed how the Ravens view the tight end position. He became a reference point, a silent leader who helped shape the identity of the offense. When you watch how Baltimore functions, it's impossible not to see how central he is to the most important moments. This journey also shows how he handled challenges along the way. Through injuries and tough situations, Andrews never lost focus. Each season added another layer to his story, turning raw potential into a real legacy. It's the kind of career that inspires, the kind that leave a mark on a franchise. When Mark Andrews passes Derek Mason in yards and receptions, he'll hold all three major receiving records in franchise history. He already owns a touchdown mark, and now he's close to completing that historic trio. It's a massive accomplishment, especially for someone who didn't enter the league with superstar expectations. This milestone shows how deeply Andrews is tied to the Ravens story. He's not just productive. He helped define an era of Baltimore's offense. Every season, every big game, every crucial catch built a foundation that brought him to the top of the franchise leaderboard. And what stands out most is that he built all of this through consistency. Andrews didn't rely on one explosive season. He constructed his legacy piece by piece, always producing, always showing up. It's a perfect example of how discipline and steady excellence can elevate a player into franchise history. With these records within reach, Andrews is stepping into a new chapter of his career. He's solidifying himself as one of the greatest players to ever wear purple and black, and he's making it clear that he's not done yet. This moment sums up years of work and perfectly shows the impact he's had and continues to have on the field. Mark Andrews is living through one of those career-defining moments. He's about to break historic marks, continues to fuel a rare connection with Lamar Jackson, and keeps proving why he's one of the most important pieces of Baltimore's offense. Everything we've seen, the consistency, the commitment, the quiet leadership, the real production on the field, explains exactly why he's so close to completing the franchise's receiving triple crown. So here's the question. Do you think Andrews not only breaks these records, but also pushes this offense even further moving forward? Because if he keeps this up, we're watching the rise of one of the greatest names in franchise history, a player who changes seasons, shifts narratives, and defines eras for the Ravens.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.